Hi, this is Orda here, and I want to do a short demonstration on emotional freedom technique, or EFT, tapping as we sometimes call it. So tapping is evidence-based, it is evidence proven, it was created in the 1990s, early 1990s by Gary Craig, who, funny enough, was an engineer, but he had worked with TFT, which is similar to EFT, and he developed it further to create emotional freedom technique. There is hundreds and hundreds of studies that have been done on this to prove its effectiveness. So basically it works on the meridians, or the energy lines in the body. The meridians would be what's used in acupuncture. So in acupuncture, you know, they use needles and they pop needles into specific points around the body. Okay, so the great thing about emotional freedom technique is there are no needles, which is fabulous. Okay, so it is based on a similar idea, that it is tapping on these certain points. And we all have it like a negative energies or behaviors we want to change, negative thoughts, okay? And sometimes it's hard to come out of that spiral. So when we tap on these points in emotional freedom technique, it helps to change that negative thought process into a positive thought process. So while the affirmation sounds like it's a negative affirmation, because we are actually going to be saying the negative thought, you know, and generally our belief system around affirmations is that they're all positive affirmations. But in emotional freedom technique, we're doing the opposite. We are affirming, so we are admitting to ourselves the negative thought that we want to eliminate. And then by tapping on the specific point as we do this, it helps to reprogram it, to change it, okay? So when you use emotional freedom technique in conjunction with weight management, giving up cigarettes, anything like that, it actually can fast track the results. So it is really beneficial. I'm going to go through the sequence. You can replay the video as often as you like. And you, in time, when you become kind of more au fait with the process, you will use your own sentences, you will use your own words, okay? So what we do is, I'll quickly go through the points, and then I'm going to do a round of tapping myself, and you can tap along, okay? So we'll say, right, we've given up smoking, and we've a little bit of a fear around this because you've tried to give up smoking so many times before, and it has failed because you've only relied on willpower before. So we have a fear, okay? Sometimes your habit might have been when you were bored you would smoke, when you were stressed you would smoke. So initially we'll put a gauge on this. So we'll say my fear of going back on cigarettes is a 9 out of 10, okay, which is quite high. So ideally we want to get this down below a 4 and to 0 if possible. So we set it up. We have a setup phrase, and the setup phrase goes like, even though I have this fear, I deeply, truly love and accept myself. Now you can use slightly different words. You can say, even though I have this fear, I choose to be back in control, which is something that I like to use. It was originally designed with that phrase at the end, I truly, deeply love and accept myself. So it's entirely up to you, whatever way you wish to use it. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to say I choose to be back in control. I think it's quite empowering. So we set it up on the karate chop here. So you're using 2 fingers, okay? And the reason why we use 2 fingers, or more if you wish, is to make sure that we actually get the specific point, okay? So we'll set up our phrase. I'm on a 9 on my scale. Even though I have a fear of smoking again, I choose to be back in control. Now we say this a couple of times here. Even though I have a fear of smoking again, I choose to be back in control. Even though I have a fear of smoking again, I choose to be back in control. Okay, so that's our setup. Very, very simple, very quick. The next point is here on the top of the head. Then we have this just the beginning of the eyebrows. Then it's out to the edge of the eyes, under the nose, under the lip, on the collarbone. You can use 2 hands if you wish. and then it's under the arm. And each time you're saying your phrase, even though I have a fear of smoking again, I choose to be back in control. Now we get to the hand, and on the hand, we're going on the sides of the fingers. So if you can just see here, just on the nail. So it's even though I have a fear of smoking, I choose to be back in control. You do each of the fingers, skipping the ring finger for some reason, don't know, and then onto the little finger. When you get to the V, okay, this is called the 9 gamut. And here you're still going to be tapping. Some people like to rub it, okay, but I'm going to tap it. And now we can change the phrase, okay? So we're not going to say our phrase here. So when you're tapping here, you close your eyes, open your eyes, look hard down to the left, keeping your head still, look hard down to the right. Roll your eyes slowly clockwise, still tapping, and roll them anti-clockwise, still tapping. Hum. Row, row, row your boat is as good as any. And count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hum again. You can hum whatever you like. And take a nice deep breath. And just gauge where you are on that scale of 1 to 10. Oh, I've gone down. Let's pretend. I've gone down to 5, 6, so we can do the sequence again. After a while, when you are used to doing the sequence, you can freestyle. So you can kind of pick a specific point and just go, oh, fear of smoking. Oh, even though I feel bored, I feel bored, I feel bored. I choose to be back in control. I feel bored. You get the idea, okay? So the sequence is karate chop. Do your setup phrase. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. Up to here. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. And you're tapping 3, 4, 5 times. Eyebrows. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. Even though I'm feeling bored, I choose to be back in control. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. I choose to be back in control. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling really angry. I choose to be back in control. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. Sides of the fingers. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. Even though I choose to be back in control. Even though I feel angry, I choose to be back in control. Close your eyes. Open your eyes. Hard down to the left. Hard down to the right. Roll your eyes clockwise. Roll them anti-clockwise. Hum. Or row, row, row your boat. And count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hum again. And a deep breath. And see where you are on that scale. If you have any questions about this, please do not hesitate to contact me. Happy tapping. Bye for now.